Hello, we are CS students Caitlin, Hannah, Tiffany, and Wildan. We are honored to be presenting at the FCAT UGC 2021. The interactive design and media art project we are showcasing is a game board redesign. Our take on the Ticket to Ride redesign is an entertaining strategic game board that we implemented in the tabletop simulator for Eric Yang's IAT 312 Fall 2020 course. For players of teenagers and up, it requires 4 players to compete as miners hired by the town to bring back gems from the mine. Through this online created game, players can have fun and socialize with each other while trying to win through the interactive and interesting gameplay activities implemented in the game board. This game not only helps people socialize over online, especially through the pandemic where people are isolated and need interaction, but also teaches people how to manage and be strategic in managing their gems, which translate to the real world.
So, for some gameplay activities or mechanical features of our game, the main feature we have in the game are gems. Gems are the main way to accumulate wealth. When a player passes a colored tile, a gem corresponding to that space will be available to buy. Each gem has a limited quantity to promote urgency and create a finite game. The player can then drop off their gems at the factory, which is located at the center of the board, to refine, which increases the value of the gem. Using knives, pictured on the right, they can turn their gems into better gems, such as 8 cut, rose cut, or brilliant cut. The rightmost knife, the box cutter, corresponds with the brilliant cut, the highest value iteration of the base gem. Without using this mechanic, players are sure to fail because this is the only way to further increase the value of their collection. Now, the goal of the game is to end a game with the most value. So, using these mechanics I just laid out is the way to win the game.
On the player's turn, they draw a movement card which determines the amount of actions they're allowed to take on their turn. This also depends on the amount of points each action costs. Players can spend these points on movement, buying, refining, and cutting gems, among other things. Players can also choose to end their turn at any time and save the remaining points to use in later turns. Some spaces on the board are marked with a star. These are event spaces. When a player lands on one of these spaces, they must draw an event card and carry out the action on the card. The event cards vary greatly, having a positive or negative effect, and can affect the other players as well.
So we have different kinds of gemstones located around the different parts of the board, and each one comes at a different cost. So you must be thinking that there are just certain gemstones that everyone wants and some other gemstones that no one wants. Well, that's not necessarily the case with this game. Because different gems have different properties, and each gem has its own pros and cons, depending on your plan and also partially depending on your luck with the event cards. For instance, raw rose quartz has a value of 50 at the end of the game. So why pick that over Pain Knight that is worth twice 100, right? Well, the thing is, rose quartz is good combination with 3 other gems, which adds to the total value, while painite is actually bad combination with 1 gem, which deducts from the total value. So there's really no easy answer to which gem is more valuable, and that just creates opportunity for players to use their strategy and planning. We actually gave a lot of thought to how to bring balance to the game and be careful with the situations where there is no one behind in the game to the point that they would get completely demotivated. And one of those things is the bank system that we have. Um, if you feel that you have no luck with the points and you keep getting 10 or 20, feel free to take loans from the bank for all the actions that cost you some points. And there might be a concern that you could win your way with the loans. Well, that's also not the case because um, if, for instance, your opponent has been taking loan the whole time and not paying back, the loan will actually be deducted from their total net worth at the end of the game, and at an increased rate if they paid nothing to the bank during the game. So you can't cheat the game and you can't win your way through with loan.
That concludes our presentation. Thank you for listening, and we would like to invite any questions for anyone. Thank you.